know sports helped you. I know you said your mom put you in every sport.
Mm-hmm.
Did you love it at the
Love
time?
it, yes.
You're special. Yeah. Our kids, they only want to play one sport, soccer, nothing else. Can you speak on that about?
Well, what I think that I love, I think sometimes one of the reasons I love that they like to do it is because when it's hard to get them outside, that's where it's not hard to get them out. You know what I mean?
True,
like,
yeah,
they practice. Because they have to practice so much and have to practice outside, probably almost every day or a couple days a week, they're outside for an hour and a half because they're practicing or they're playing, and it kind of makes me not have to force them get outside, go outside. So I think that that's one of the things sometimes that makes it easier once they find something they love.
Yeah.
It is easier to get them outside to do that.
Yeah.
And so I do really like that. And I think that they just can develop a lot of grit and resiliency through sports that like I can't teach them at home all the time.
And maybe we don't have organized sports, but say like swimming at the pool or going to the swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like when we lived in Minnesota where it was ice cold all winter long, you can't really get outside very well. So we would go and do things like at the mall. We'd go for walks and let the kids run around and play and climb on stuff. And you notice the kids actually sleep better at night after that. Because when they're cooped up in the house, they have all this built up energy, they don't get to use it. Well, of course they're gonna act out. It's hard to build up a lot of energy and not go and utilize it. So kids that generally have any like anxiety or difficulty sleeping or falling asleep, they're probably not burning enough energy throughout the day, and that's probably a big role in why they're just not resting very well.
Yeah, we'll get to it later, but it also has a lot to do with balancing your melatonin cortisol cycle too. Getting outside, especially early in the morning, is how our brain knows it's morning. Artificial light doesn't do the same thing as sunlight does, and so when our brain sees sunlight, it is supposed to 15 hours later trigger your melatonin so that you fall asleep pretty easily. So it's like, I don't know if you guys have heard, like one of the big things people are saying is get up and walk outside and get your eyes in that sunlight.
Before the cell phone use,
Yep.
before looking at Facebook and Instagram and
Mm-hmm.
all the other things,
And we do have an epidemic, I can tell you just from having a lot of kids as patients, of kids that can't fall asleep. They can't fall asleep, they have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep, and I think that is because we've become a society that is inside more than we're outside, and being outside is what helps our body release those hormones that are necessary to sleep and wake.
Yep.